know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCara.com. At ShopPayCara.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCara.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
guys, another Kart Chaser driver fitness episode with me, Chris G. And today we're doing some upper back movements. Here we go. Exercise number 1 today we're doing is the reverse grip lat pull down. This exercise movement is one of my favorites because it works your grip strength, your biceps, and most importantly, works that lat area that also protects those ribs in the seat. Exercise number 2 today, the dumbbell chest supported row. Don't forget, good stretch at the bottom, and bring them right to your hips like that, keeping your back nice and arched, shoulders back. Think about having good posture in the cart. Exercise number 3, the inverted Smith machine rows. Grip strength, back strength, overall amazing workout. Thanks again for joining me on another Kart Chaser driver fitness episode with me, Chris G. Race ready training that carries into real life.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tap?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make weight.
Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out to Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
How the did you just win?
Doesn't
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You join us on another weekend of exciting karting here in the Kart Chaser Summer. And let me tell you, this is a track I'm excited about. This is a weekend I have been excited about for a while here. A track that is really well known in Ohio, I have to say. A track that is a backbone to America's karting here. And this is really what's going to set that tone for the weekend when you have a track that's been here this long. But we'll get into that here shortly, and we'll talk about some of the fun here that G&J Kartway here in Camden, Ohio is going to bring to Kart Chaser for the weekend. It's Apex Karting Championship round number 2 here for the North Series. It's going to be myself, Brad Dalton, up here in the booth, joined by Cale Zimmerman. I'll tell you what, Cale, it's good to have you here on Kart Chaser this weekend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. It's great to be here. What an opportunity to announce for these guys. What a cool organization that Xander has brought up, and super excited for this race as well, like you said. Track I've raced at a few times, a little bit more known for the four-cycle racing side of things, but Apex decided, you know what, let's bring a regional two-stroke race here as well, alongside of that, alongside the four-cycle program. So what a cool thing to see. I don't know when the last time a big race for two-stroke came here, but I'm super excited to see how it all plays out this morning.
Definitely think it's going to be a good one. And for those of you who don't know Cale, Cale is very humble, of course, so I'm going to brag on Cale for a second. 111 races on his Carter DB profile with 30 wins, 54 podiums, some big notable results, winning CK&A in senior medium, placed first there, has placed second in senior light in CK&A, considered one of the greats in karting right now, up and coming. Definitely a name that you should watch out for and know, and is going to be doing great. CK&A North round 3 and 4, of course, back in June, finished first there in senior medium. So definitely someone to keep an eye on. Has won Grand Nationals in category. I mean, definitely someone to watch. And, well, it's great to have you in the booth. Obviously, you're not retiring, but hey, sometimes stepping to the side here makes things fun. KA Masters currently out on category, getting things going. This morning, it's all IAME. So if you love the KA package as much as everyone does, this is going to be the morning for you. It's all KA this morning. We kick things off, of course, going along here on this track with KA Masters. Micros come up next, then seniors, then minis, and then we round it out with juniors. And we're going to go from there straight into heat 1, then heat 2, then we're taking a lunch break. And then tomorrow, it'll be a pre-final and a final after a warm-up. But looking at KA Masters so far, you've got 2 Ohio natives that I know really well, Cale. Chris and Andy Kutcher. I tend to see them a lot over at MCC in the Pro-Am Championship, and they are doing today what I tend to see them do at MCC, which is just they work together and they get things moving here. And you can see Andy ahead of Chris, looking over the shoulder, Chris following up behind and just following through. Kind of tell me, whenever you're running through, if you are an Ohio native and this is a local track to you, how would you approach this weekend here? Of course, it's very nice to be close to home.
Yeah, and the first thing I'm noticing, to be completely honest with you, is this go-kart sitting here in second is two-wheeling a ton through turns 1, and so there is a ton of grip on the track, which is very, very odd because the last time I was here, there was nothing. It was like super grainy. It was through turns 1, 2, and you know, this section right here, there was not a lot of grip, but I've seen a few drivers here get up on 2 wheels and start like almost grip flipping, you know, almost controllably, but my goodness, it's kind of a scare, and surely he's got to be losing a little bit of time off that, but he's only, you know, he's not even a 10th off of the pace. So if he can figure out that grip situation, boy, is he going to be fast.
Chris and Andy always quick through. And then, of course, Elliott and Ethan Bocono, 3rd and 4th behind. They're very quick as well. So drivers to watch here. Of course, qualifying is all about setting that fastest lap. But then when we go into our heats here just shortly, it's not going to be about the fastest lap. And that's one of the things that I always love to look at is, you know, sometimes your fastest drivers in qualifying a bad race start can really shake everything up. But right now, this is how KA Masters line up. It's Chris and Andy Kutcher in P1, P2 here, separated by less than a tenth. Ethan Bocono, Elliot Bocono, third and fourth. Nathan Williams, Daniel Fear, Travis Gregg, and Matt Abel, your 8 KA Masters kicking things off. We're going to pivot now, of course, from the oldest class to the youngest class. And this is one of the things I love that Apex does. They go oldest class, youngest class, and then sort of pivot back and through and in with the juniors. IAME Micros coming up next here, Kale, and taking a look at the entry list. I think we're going to have a lot of strong drivers this weekend, and I definitely think this is going to be one of those classes that gets pretty competitive pretty quick.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, to be honest, all these classes are very, very exciting. I'm super excited for KA Senior, of course. What a show those guys always put on. But man, you look at the drivers' ages and the micros. It's supposed to be 7 through 10ish. These kids are no short of pros in their category. They put on some great races. I've seen a few races like just down the road, Cincinnati. Oh my goodness, what a race that they just put on not very long ago. And it's just entertainment around all classes from micro to masters. Any ages here are going to put on a great show this weekend. And what a track to do it at. One of the oldest tracks in America. So classic, for sure.
This is a very, very well-known track here in southwestern Ohio. This place has history since the 1950s. G&J has been part of the backbone of karting. It's a track to know, and then, well, if you like this track, we've got plenty of other good ones coming up here on Kart Chaser. Of course, USPKS at Newcastle Motorsports next weekend, along with champions of the future going to the K1 circuit again on the West Coast. Depending on if you like East or West Coast, both will be there, and you take your pick. And then, of course, we just talked about it, MCC Pro-Am Championship 4th of July weekend, and the Indy Karting Challenge at Whiteland on the 5th of July. Take your pick. What tracks do you enjoy? We got them all here at Kart Chaser. And right now, we're going to have the IAME Micros rolling out here for their 7 minutes of qualifying around this track that has been around since the 1950s, was paved in 1962, but started out as a dirt-only track, and now it is paved, it is historic, it is well-known, and apparently it's got a lot of grip, which is out of characteristic. How long that grip lasts, that's a question for later, because I don't want to touch on the weather yet, but you can see the flags rolling, and, well, I've taken a peek at the radar, of course, and, well, it's going to be an interesting weekend, and I got to wonder, does weather hit us, and how will weather play into things if weather does appear this weekend? Micro's rolling out here. Looking up at the top right now, it's the 212 of Fox who is kicking things along here in the micro category. And just looking at James Fox, of course, a name that you should know pretty well if you are familiar here with Kart Chaser again. But if you don't, 57 wins, 79 podiums, 151 races of history through. Placed 3rd place recently in the Route 66 Sprint Series. So that'll be interesting to watch. And, of course, leading the championship in Apex Midwest as well. So having a great time all the way along. Makes appearances at the Indy Karting Challenge, of course. Look forward to seeing James back there here soon. And leading the championship here, leading the times right now. I mean, you got to wonder, just looking along for that 212, you've got Akers behind. How is he going to kind of come into this weekend? How do you think James Fox is going to be feeling?
I mean, after coming off a route win not too long ago, a very similar series to Apex, both Midwest based, both have the IAME and Briggs packages, and that's a competitive series, and maybe a bit older of a series, maybe a little bit more developed. As we know, Apex is brand new to this year, and they've been doing amazing with their entries and all that. Super excited for what's to come with that series, because it's a sub-series of stars. And Stars has done a great job with their racing. All I hear is good things about Stars. So I'm excited to see, what Fox can do this weekend. Obviously he's been doing really well in the regional side of things, and so hopefully he can continue that this weekend. And he's 7/10s clear as we speak, which is huge to say the least. That is not as close as you would think. So he's dominating this qualifying session, Bradley.
Absolutely, and looking at the points here of the championship as we're into this round 2, finished second in the final, but swept the heats in the pre-final. James Fox did over this driver right here on screen, Remy Boss, who is currently sitting 3 points behind after round 1 in this Apex Micro Championship. So that 3 points is going to make or break something in the season. I can just sort of feel it in my bones that 3 points will make or break things. And when it's such a slim margin across 3 rounds, 1 round in, Kale, looking at that, I think that makes a big difference here for these drivers. You've got Boss Pro Karting, Remy, who is currently still dropping down the timing tables. Is Toby Blue with Leslie Racing jumps up to 3rd. Remy is sitting in 5th in the timing tables right now. Comes up to 3rd, still 1.3 though off of James Fox. I think James Fox just has that top cart dialed right in.
Yeah, no kidding. Considering he's from Indiana, so he's not too far down the road. So maybe he got some testing in before this, but goodness, he looks quick compared to the rest of the field. And yeah, he's only going quicker. I mean, TJ Akers did bring it down to a 5/10th, gap there, but still half a second in karting is a very large margin. So we'll see what TJ and the rest of the field can do to kind of bring that gap to James Fox down as much as they can before he starts to run away with the weekend. And if not, hopefully in the heat races or whatever, they can try and bring it closer just by being able to see what James is doing and whatnot. So we'll see how that plays out later on in the heat races. But for now, still that 5/10th gap here.
I just realized sitting here looking, Toby Blue in the 290, and this is one of the things I love about our youngest category and our younger categories, I'll say. Look at the paint on the front there, on the front bumper. Look at it reminds me a lot of Rexy and Roxy from, of course, A&O Racing and IMSA. But, look at this. So Toby Blue has that paint through along with Rhett. Yeah, Rhett. So I love that. One of them's in red, one of them's in blue, and they are definitely going to be enjoying things here with Leslie Racing. So, yeah, good to see that coming through, and we'll see if the paint adds any pace and any attack in the heats, the pre-final and the final tomorrow. So definitely going to be interesting to watch. Here's a little bit of battling coming around in micros in qualifying. Did we remind them it's qualifying?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but all I know is that if I looked over my shoulder, leading a race, and I seen that, I'd be pretty frightened. That's very cool livery. Cool to see the creativity from these kids. I love to see that. And he's going, big moment there. Went really wide and crossover for Miles Hale. Get clear of him. That looks to be. But yeah, no, I don't think they know that this is qualifying. They're full battle here. Guys, it's to go fast. Battling is not that.
Micros love to do that, and that's something that we keep an eye on as checkered flag comes out for this IAME micro qualifying. And your championship leader, James Fox, still trying to find more pace in the final lap. Tons of run through there. As we take a look at Toby Blue down on the bottom, we look at the finish line up on the top. Let's see our final carts coming across the line now to finalize things. James Fox has locked it in the top cart at a 41.3 to 41-second lap here around the circuit. For the micros, TJ Akers will come through. That's Beckett Hemphill coming through. Toby Blue not able to improve across the line. One mechanical flag was given out, by the way, to Wyatt Burlesman. Hopefully everything okay there for the 221, and we'll be able to fix that going through. But your micro category, they are done and dusted for qualifying, and it's your championship leader, James Fox, who will hold the top. TJ Akers in second, Toby Blue in third, and second place in the championship is fourth place on the timing table with Rhett Blue in fifth. Miles Hell, Beckett Hemphill, Wyatt Burlesman, and Thomas DeLong, your 9 micro categories here to take things through. We're going to take a step aside here at Kart Chaser. When we come back, it is going to be time for more qualifying here on the free coverage for the morning. When we come back, it's KA Senior. Join us in a minute.
You know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCarrot.com. At ShopPayCarrot.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCarrot.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Welcome to the future of kart race preparation. Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America, use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to Kart Chaser for your coverage of this Apex Karting Championship round number 2 here. And it is an IAME morning for us here going through. It's KA Senior out on track right now with Lorenko leading things across the line. Make that Leslie across the line. And, well, welcome to KA Senior. They battle hard, they battle quick, and it's qualifying they battle, and this timing table is going to be topsy-turvy, upside down, one way and the other. It's myself, Brad Dalton, joined here by Cale Zimmerman in the booth, not on the track, but joining me here trackside to bring you some coverage. Cale, I tell you what, this is going to be a class that I think if you put a bucket list on it, it's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you look at names like Lorenko, Warren, you got Maxwell back there, looking to do some work. Jordan Klein. A lot of these dudes, a lot of these drivers are really, really, really talented. And let me just take a note on Eli. Happy birthday to Eli Warren. Hopefully he gets a good present this weekend. But with that pink cancer awareness livery, he has always been really, really fast here, like as long as I can remember. We used to race CKNA North races here, and he would show up for qualifying, not for warm-up, miss practice day, show up for qualifying session, and go P1. And it would really irritate a lot of us. But hopefully he can continue that pace, and he is looking quick. Just a thousandth of a second or a hundredth of a second off of Crouch here, who is, I believe, a local here, or, well, he grew up racing here. And so he is super quick as well, and he's seen some success at the national level as well. So it'll be a great weekend, and you look how close these times are. Oh my goodness, top 5, all within a tenth. Top 8, 2 tenths. Top 10 is 4 tenths, 11 4 tenths. That is a very close field. So this weekend is going to be interesting, to say the least. And there goes Eli Warren, 2 tenths clear of the field. For now, he was in Crouch's draft, so we'll see how long that lasts. But a good lap from him to start off the session.
And just to touch base on Crouch, if Crouch isn't a native there in the Slattery Racing Top Kart, well, I don't know who is here. Looking at Crouch, last 4 results showing in Carter DB are first places in the senior category. First April 12th, first April 19th, first May 31st, first June 13th. At what track? G&J Kartway. So this track, it's a staple, and Crouch is a driver who, if you are familiar at all, of course, with a lot of our grassroots coverage over at MCC, runs a lot at MCC, runs a lot at G&J Kartway. So definitely a native here who is really feeling good. As we take a look at Chase Adams here, who is looking to put in some time. This is all the way through.
He's not going to get it.
Bumper. Yeah, no.
Yeah, heartbreak for Chase Adams here. Yeah, that bumper is off, and it is. I don't think that go-kart is handling too amazing with that. Normally it offsets the balance and the stiffness of the go-kart. So unfortunate for him. Hopefully he got a decent enough time to hold his own in qualifying before the mechanical flag will come out here in a second for him, just due to the safety of that. So hopefully he got a decent enough time that he can be happy with before he is pulled off the track here.
And mechanical flag is being waved for the 957. Chase Adams currently sitting 5th. Comes across the line, does not improve in times. Of course, with that bumper being detached, I wouldn't expect the 957 to be improving in times there coming through. Will have to peel off and come in. That is qualifying done and dusted. Now it's a matter of how that 38.115 holds in the grand scheme of things. Looking at times right now, it's 3.5 tenths off of pole, but you've got a lot of hungry drivers behind here. Your top 10 separated by less than half a second, and that is such a tight margin here to try to funnel your way into and improve on time. With 1:40 to go, there's still time to find in this track, I would say, for all of these drivers. But Cale, you know better than anyone, sometimes just trying to find that time at the end of the session is harder than knowing that time is there.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, going through these qualifying sessions, these are a bit longer than what I would say I'm used to. But yeah, the track is going to be more gripped up, and you know, your tire pressures are a little bit lower in qualifying due to it being longer compared to like green-white checkered qualifying or a 3-lap qualifying. So yeah, the long-term pace is a little bit more important here in qualifying, because your fast lap, your fastest lap that you could be is going to be the last lap. If you set the tire pressures right, if you have your setup all set up good. So it brings a little bit more of, you know, setup into it as well, just as well as driving, because you kind of want to save. You don't want to burn up your tires too early in the qualifying session or something like that by going too high or driving too hard. But, you know, Warren and Crouch seem to have it covered. So does Lorenko. He's pretty much by himself here, and he looks really well. No draft, no push. So for him, you know, you look at that and you're like, okay, you come off the track, maybe you're 10th down if he doesn't improve. But, you know, for him, that's a really good look. He was all by himself all session. You know, no really judgment of driving. I think he led the whole session. So for him, he's sitting in a great spot, starting 3rd at the moment. So we'll see how this all shakes out as they cross the line for one final time. It seems to stay the same in the top 5. Jordan Klein moves to P6. Everything else looks to have stayed the same.
Yeah, it looks like
Audrey moves
everything-
up to 12. But yeah, other than that, pretty close to the same results as we were seeing before the checkered. So Warren, Crouch, Lourenco is your top 3, and some heavy hitters here, to say the least.
Big hitters here this weekend, but of note, your top 4 in the championship not here this weekend at all. So that is setting up for a great championship flip here. Isaac Malkiewicz, who swept round 1, isn't here, and then Christopher McKeithen, who basically held 3rd place the entirety of round 1, isn't here. So KA Senior this weekend going to be one to watch, and well, in the championship, it's definitely going to change a lot going out of round 2. KA Senior qualifying done and dusted. We've got 2 more sessions tonight. Then we step behind the paywall here. If you want to become a Kart Chaser Premium member, catch all the action live. It's $9.99 a month. Make sure you sign up on an Android device or a PC. If you go on Apple, well, Apple is going to throw on an Apple tax for you there, and it will be $12.99 a month. Come on, save the $3. That's a Starbucks strawberry acai refresher right there that you could have. So save the money. Get a Starbucks refresher, become a Kart Chaser Premium member, and enjoy all of the coverage we bring you here weekend in, weekend out, live. 2 more sessions left to go. We're going to IAME Minis next, and this is one of those categories that, well, it's always going to produce some really good runs. Hudson Howard sweeping round 1, Slate Harrell sweeping 2nd place, and then Evan Leash, who was 3rd in everything but the final last time out. Ruben Greer able to snatch 3rd out of that, and they sit 3rd and 4th in points respectively. This category should be fun to watch here in just 60 seconds time when they get rolling here, Kel.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know, all the names you just said, you know, very, very phenomenal drivers. So hopefully this weekend, and we have seen in KA Senior very close times, so hopefully we can continue to see that in both IAME Mini and KA Junior up next in qualifying, because the closer these times are, the better the racing's going to be. And that was what I was hoping for, is just some dogfights in the heats. So we'll see how that goes. And it seems like they're rolling out now. There's smoke pouring over the, and yeah, here they are. So we'll see how this goes. And
Already coming out side by side.
Yeah, so it seems like all the names that you also just said are not rolling out for qualifying. So, yeah, we got a toss-up for the championship here, because Howard is not out there, or yet. Here comes Aiden Go, and he has been phenomenal, to say the least. What a last few, I guess, what a last year for this kid. I feel like the growth out of him I've seen is just as good as any other driver that I've seen, maybe better growing. And he's been starting to put some huge results down in the national level of karting.
I mean, I'm thinking back to just a week ago, about a week ago here, Aiden Go battling it out in the SCUSA Spring Nats that we brought to you here on Kart Chaser, running through, battling it out with Mason Brody, battling it out with Jaden Francisco, and just Dutch Westbrook out there fighting for the lead consistently all the way through, and then having a great run in the rain. Unfortunately, having some contact there on the final lap with Mason Brody and diving off at turn 11 right at the end of the go. Not the ideal run that would want to be had, but is really, really making a show over in RMC in the Mini-Max category, finishing first out there, in IAME Grands finishing first in Mini Swift. This is a driver that, well, when you talk about someone with the last name Go, they're going places. I have to make the pun. I'm so sorry. But when you talk about Aiden Go is going places and is definitely going to be one to watch here on the weekend.
Yeah, no kidding. And you talk back to that move at Cincinnati about a week ago. You know, heartbreak for the kid. But the one thing that I really want to point out is these kids are super young. Like they're not through their development at all. So what that tells me is being able to try and make a move like that is, how much confidence that he has. And as he moves up to second, just 2/10 off of your leader, Anderson Hemphill. But, it shows such a cool thing to have that much confidence as a kid, this young. So we'll see how he can carry that, as he moves up through the ranks. And obviously he's been doing super well through mini and micro, and now we'll be able to see what pretty soon here in the next few years how he does in KA Junior as well, and maybe X30. So these classes are all about development, right? So we'll see how he develops into a driver. And like you said, yeah, he has all the potential, and he cuts the gap down to under a 10th. So we'll see what he can do the next time around. I did see before he was talking to his mechanic over the fence, so he's got something for Anderson Hemphill. And what a run so far for the MGM cadet chassis. He's been, I went to IAME Grands with Kart Chaser, and this was the first time that I'd seen an MGM with a 2-stroke on it. But it seems to be working pretty well here.
Yeah, Hemphill, a driver here on the MGM that you typically would see more at CKNA, who is having a good run here and has had some good goes. Queen City Gambit, I'm looking back in April and pulling from the memory banks here, climbed into the top 15 by the end of the Mini Swift heat race and had some goes through. Of course, in Midwest Round 1, had a good result as well. So is a driver to really, really watch here through the season. In the 206 Mini, I have to say, had a good run going through, finished 10th in this package. So will be one to watch here. But you bring up a good point that I think a lot of people forget about the micros and minis, and even I'd say to a degree the juniors, that a lot of these drivers are still developing. They're still growing. And the fact that we have drivers that are still developing that are a millisecond separated goes to show just where the level of competition really is for these drivers as they come along and go through. Hemphill and Go still a millisecond separated. Make it 2/10 now as Hemphill has went faster, pushing a sub 40-second lap. Will we see a break into the 39s with 1:50 to go here?
Yeah, and you make a good point, how close these drivers are. And it's so funny how separated they are as well. So it's not like they're, able to gauge each other or off each other. Go is on the other side of the track at the moment. And the only person who really has sight on the leader right now is Jackson Jessup. And he is looking to go quicker and quicker. Not able to that time around. But hopefully, the biggest point of development is like learning and watching the better drivers, I would say. Whether that is, over the fence line, off of a Kart Chaser stream, or just, being able to look off that back bumper of them. And so, maybe we seen Jackson going a little bit quicker when he could see Anderson, who is at the point of the field, 2/10 clear. And but now, let's hope he could go a little bit quicker. Not yet. But we see Ingo passing in the top cart of Zen Beach, halfway behind, almost half a track behind Anderson. So we'll see. He had to pass that time. He'll have one more lap, I think, to go better than Anderson. So we'll see if he's able to do that now that he has clean air.
17 seconds left to go here in qualifying, and looking through a lot of our names who are in strong championship positions, not here this weekend. So going into round 3 will be a shakeup, but of course we got to get through round 2 first. 2 seconds left to go on the timer. Timer is done. Checkered flag is out. Let's see as drivers cross the line. You see the helmets tucking. You see the pace coming through. It is Mylan Eilick with DPC Motorsports, the first one across the line, locks it in with a 41.024 into P5. And now, watch here coming through. Aiden Go not able to improve the final time around and is going to lock it in second for now. Will anyone knock Aiden Go and tell Aiden Go to stop and not be on the front row? You have Caden Turno, who will be the next to last driver to come across the line. Jackson Jessup just ahead. There is Anderson Hemphill coming across. Doesn't go faster. No sub 40s here. Jackson Jessup will lock it in fourth. Caden Turno will lock it in third. So as they run, as you see them, that is how the minis will go through, and that is how the minis are going to be set up for the first heat coming up here shortly, as we have just one more class to go here, Kale, and I'm curious to really start getting your thoughts here, as it's KA Junior coming up next, and this class, well, KA Juniors, they're going to do what KA Juniors do, and sometimes that is some wild racing.
Yeah, no kidding. Some people might say the most erratic class in the categories. So we'll see how qualifying goes. And we've seen a little bit of battling here in qualifying already. So we'll see what the KA Juniors bring for us over the day, through qualifying. It's bound to be a good one. This is a very racy track. Got a bit of draft here and there, on the back straight, front straight, and then after turns 1 and 2. So, it gets tight. There's a few points for some big dive bombs, some big moves, and so we'll be able to see, I think, a lot of good racing this weekend as we go through and progress with more grip, hopefully, as long as we can avoid the weather.
I was going to say more grip would be nice, but you can see our camera crew here on track very clearly giving us a strong indicator that I don't know that more grip is going to be the name of the Saturday game as we look along and around here in Camden, Ohio. Also, well, look at the grain silos. Maybe avoid that here going into a grain silo. I hear that if you go in there, you get trapped. It's a bad day. Just don't do it. But it's right next to the track. It's nice to look at. And then someone's refrigerator was parked next to that grain silo, if you didn't see that. So as we set up here, waiting for KA Juniors to roll, let's talk about the points as they sit. It's Ezekiel Height and Darren Kidd and Cameron Johnson who are leading 1, 2, 3 in points. And this is a category where nobody in the junior category really held the go with everything. Ezekiel Height, here's the results from round 1 for Ezekiel Height. 7th, 3rd, 1st in the pre-final, 3rd in the final. Cameron Johnson, first, heat 1, heat 2, 8th place pre-final, 4th in the final. And then Dominic Gaddis, who finished last in heat number 2, ended up winning the final. So you've got drivers that are absolutely going to be up and down and all over the place here. You've had 18 entries in round 1, and well, we're looking at the same number of entries here for round 2 was on the sign-up sheet that we have on the back end here. Taking a look at everything along, drivers getting things rolling. I don't see Ezekiel Height right now out, so your championship leader not here on track. Neither is 2nd place. I don't see Cameron Johnson either, so another one where round 2, the championship is going to be a big toss-up.
Yeah, no kidding. The top 3 in the championship are all absent, it seems. So, it's going to be now a fight of, okay, let's push forward. We got to get good points because I believe there's a drop. So, you can, if you had a bad weekend over Newcastle for round 1, you can disregard that and just move forward. So yeah, a lot of these drivers are going to be looking for a good points haul, as the top 3 are absent. So we'll see who can maximize their efforts this weekend and try and bring home the most points. Here's Daniel Dragonoff in his purple Haas. He looks to do better, and kind of match, I think, his performance in the 206 side of things, because he's been phenomenal over there. Spring Nats champion, Grand Nats champion. So we'll see what he can do as he starts to develop in the K100 side of things. And he looks to push forward as well in that Haas as well. And we'll see what he can do. Little shake of the head. He's not happy with it. He has pretty high driver standards considering I know him a little bit. He's my teammate. So hopefully he can maximize the weekend this weekend and, have a good result.
Top of the timing table, Christopher Utzi, 38.724 coming across here. A 10th and a quarter up on Alex Kutcher. Never mind, scratch everything I just said. 38.4 coming through for Alex Kutcher. So pace very clearly in the track here at the end of our qualifying, as we still have 4 minutes for KA Junior. It's our last qualifying session, but very clearly there is some strong pace that's going to be found from these drivers as we go further in the session. Will we get sub 38? I think that's a big ask. I don't think it's necessarily impossible with the way the drivers are going here. Christopher Utzi with Steel Motorsports, 38.724 last time across, holding that second place. And, well, you can see Utzi here really doing everything possible, trying to get that Steel Motorsport cart across the line as we have more shuffles here. Andrew Avalos now down to third because Daniel Dragunov, your teammate, up into second.
Yeah, and he looked to shake his head a few times even when he went up to P4 last lap around. And so I'm thinking that he got that covered, and hopefully he can put a good result in. And Utsi back to the point, and he looks very good this weekend on that Steel Motorsports Stealth. And what's some development from that team as well. Just talking about Mark Steele and his chassis, how much he's been able to bring that new chassis of his to the front of every single field that you see. And what a cool thing that he has his own chassis. And normally, he talked about it with me. I think it's on a Kart Chaser post somewhere from Grands. Formula One drivers are supposed to get their own chassis. Mark has his own chassis. So to me, that says a little bit about him. Mark is a great guy, and I'm super happy that he was able to develop a chassis so well and have so much success. As Christopher Utsi drops to second, but only about 200ths back. So we'll see what he can do this weekend. And, everybody else who is on that Stealth this weekend, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of entries, from that chassis in the 206 side of things. Later, I'm pretty sure Mark is running in the senior field. So we'll see what he can do and the rest of his team can do this weekend. And we look at our new pole sitter, Alex Kutcher. He looks phenomenal as well. That cart is hooked up. He's all by himself, just making gains. And all by himself, being P1 is a really good thing, really good way to start the day because he looks good. There's no draft. He's doing it all by himself. So we'll see what the rest of the last minute and about a half of qualifying looks like for this KA Junior field.
Alex Kutcher, a driver that if you're familiar with the, again, MCC Pro-Am Championship here on Kart Chaser, as we're in Camden, Ohio. We're not that far away from Cincinnati or from Whiteland, Indiana, which is where you're seeing a lot of these names really show up from. Is a driver that you'll be familiar with, has had tons of great battles over there with Homer Heeman and Ben Gleiberman, some of the names over in the MCC side of things that we've seen the battle go through. Has won over at MCC several times in the KA Junior category as well, most notably winning in May in the Battalion, the Kart coverage that we had over there. I want to circle back to Steel Motorsports for a second here in that Steel chassis, because you mentioned Formula One drivers having their own chassis. You got to wonder for Mark Steele as we're hitting the end of qualifying. We'll touch on this later, but Lando Norris karts, Charles Leclerc karts, Carlos Sainz karts, Fernando, Daniel Ricciardo karts, and then you throw Mark Steele in there, who has chassis that are sitting in second place right now in KA Juniors. Qualifying's coming to an end. That's got to feel good. We'll touch on that, of course, more through the weekend as Christopher Utsi is trying to chase down Alex Kutcher. Comes across the line just in the nick of time to try to get one more lap in. Is currently sitting 6/100ths of a second away from Alex Kutcher. And this qualifying's not done. Every time they cross the line, it shuffles here. The 878 Alex Kutcher bringing that Lando Norris card across the line will hold up in first for now. Didn't improve on times, though, as Dragunov comes through. Avalos, Price, Schable, Furnish. AJ Stoner will come through, holds third, so it is all down to Christopher Yutzi to try to knock Alex Kutcher off the top step.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do as he's coming to the line here. He does not go better. You know, but the gap there is super, super slim. So between Alex and Christopher here, we'll for sure see a really good battle. And behind them, there is about 6 drivers that are only 2/10 away from your leader. And so I think this weekend is just going to be filled with great battles across all classes. And I'm excited to see how this plays out. But I'm also excited to see, you know, what happens later on in the day when we get to the 206 side of things, because that class is supposed to, if it's close now, the 206 side of things is supposed to bring, you know, closer battles. So we'll see what, you know, how today looks, and hopefully the rain stays away, because then it tends to spread stuff out just a little bit more. So hopefully we have good weather on our hands today, and some great racing, good battles, and some good stories to be told.
Absolutely, but the only way to find out is we are going to take a step aside here. That's an ominous radar. If you're not a Kart Chaser member, you really, really need to become one. Get yourself a Strawberry Acai refresher. Become a Kart Chaser member, $9.99 a month on your PC or your Android device, and join us at the home of OVKA as your Perico countdown comes in. We're going to step aside, step behind the paywall. When we come back, maybe there's rain, maybe there's action, but it's going to be the IAME package bringing some great runs here from G&J Kartway. We'll be right back here on Kart Chaser.
When it comes to innovation on the track, Odenthal Racing Products leads the pack. From the highly popular EasyGP camera mounts to our tough case to GoPro case, racers everywhere trust ORP for strength, reliability, and precision. We're proud to be the #1 engine mount manufacturer in the USA. And with our new Easy Bumper Retainer System, you won't get caught out with a failed bumper bolt again. Odenthal Racing Products. Lead or get left behind.
Paulie Massimino wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win #1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakRacing.com.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser. Hey, what's up, Caleb? What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I went to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like 20 bucks a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like 50 bucks a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.